talk about power-ups. Our power-ups are Google embedded lessons that are copied into your Google Drive. From there, you can work through them as a class, or you can assign them to students in Google Classroom. There's really a ton of things that you can do with these. They are 10 to 20 minutes long, and they are interactive in the sense that students are completing activities by dragging items and writing in their answers. All of our K2 power-ups that are being released in 2021 will include audio so that younger students can complete these activities independently. So if I'm going on the website and I'm looking for a power-up, the best way to do that is to go right here to type and click power-up. That will pull all the power-ups. And then let's go and explore Botanists learning about photosynthesis. So I will click in, I will have my student activity, and then sometimes there's an answer key if there is an activity that requires one, so that will be found there, and it is just a PDF. So I will click student activity, and then I will click again, and this is going to copy it into my Google Drive. So make a copy. And now I have one in my own Google Drive that I can work with. So if I drag, it's not going to mess anyone else's up. So here they introduce the botanist and learning about photosynthesis. So those are our topics. Again, a little intro. And we start with vocabulary, and you can see here are going to be those audios that they can click, and it can tell them the definition, and then more here, learning about botanists, so that background career information right there. And then all the power-ups are going to have a slide similar to this that says think like a, and then this will change based on the lesson. So they're thinking like botanists today. And it's just going to be a breakdown of how the activity is going to go. So first they're going to learn about photosynthesis. They are then going to decide what a plant needs, and then they are going to create a plant. So first they're learning about photosynthesis. So here they are, some information on photosynthesis, more info, and then they're into deciding what a plant needs. So they're going to be a botanist who is trying to grow a new plant. Look at the pictures in the orange box, and they're going to drag the red circle to choose the 3 things that they now know you need to make sure that their plant can make food. So this information that they just learned, they know that the plant needs water, they know the plant needs sunlight, and they know that the plant needs CO2. So they will drag in order to select those. And their step 3 is they get to create a plant. So they can just kind of have fun with this. Again, more dragging and dropping. So they have to have leaves to get sunlight and carbon dioxide, so they can choose their leaves. They need to have roots, so they can choose their roots. And they need to have a stem. So just kind of a fun little thing that they can do and be as creative as they want. If they want to put a flower on it, they can do that and just make their plant that way. And then this is a note from a teacher because we often include optional activities. So if you want to write a note, say you want them to do this math activity or the writing activity, you can write in there and give instructions on how you want them to do that, or you could just delete it. If you want them to do all of them, you can delete and it just kind of goes all in. So here we have an optional math activity where they're going to drag the green check mark under your answers to the questions below. So check mark under the tallest flower, just right over here, under the shortest tree, right over here, and you get the point on that. And then we have an optional writing activity, so they will learn about these 3 different plants. Again, they have that audio for them there, and then they can do some writing, and they'll just be able to click in here and write their answers. And then this one also has an optional building activity, so they'll just be building a plant, making sure to have those components that they learned about. And all of the materials for these, since they are structured for online learning, or in person, you can do kind of however you want with the materials. So if you want your students to do it with things they have at home, just paper, maybe tape, crayons, or other coloring materials, that's fine. Or you can have them use other things. Maybe they have boxes at home or recyclables that they can use and do it that way. I'm really quickly going to just show you another one if you want to see that. So this is about a paleontologist, lines of symmetry. Again, I'm just going to make that copy in. So I'll quickly go through this since you've already kind of seen the parts they're introducing. We have our vocab, symmetry, line of symmetry, symmetrical, asymmetrical, learning about paleontologists, learning about fossils, have some fossil examples here. So then now they're learning about symmetry. So this is obviously an upper grade. Just some more info on symmetry here. And so then it says, look at examples of symmetrical and asymmetrical objects below. Some examples there that are going to be helpful when they do their activity. And then we had a fun little famous paleontologist. And then here is their activity introduction. So step 1, they are going to identify the line of symmetry. Step 2, they are going to sketch their dinosaur. And step 3, they're going to write about their dinosaur. And then again, optional activities. So you have your activity, identify the line of symmetry, and then write. So this gives it some examples right here, and then they go into their activity so they can drag their lines of symmetry and then write how many lines of symmetry they have in there. And same here. And then step 2, they have just discovered a new fossil of a dinosaur on a piece of scratch paper. Use the picture below and your knowledge of symmetry to sketch what you believe this dinosaur looked like. So they would just kind of sketch their symmetrical piece there. And then write about your dinosaur, and they will write about their dinosaur in here, their name, that fun stuff. This one has an optional math practice, so doing perimeter and area. And then an optional build your dinosaur, similar to the other one, same concept with materials. And then this has the answer key at the end on this one. So you have that. So that is an example of a power-up. Now, if you need information on how to put these into, say, Google Classroom or integrate it with something else, we do have information on that. We do have a video that breaks down exactly how you can put these into Google Classroom so that every student will have their own copy that they can manipulate. So make sure to check that out if you need it, and please reach out with absolutely any questions that you have for us. If there's any way we can help, we would love to.